Yeah, I fumbled a baddie pretty bad the other day. To reconcile with that, I thought I'd finally start this channel to show you guys how I do things. Let's get into it. The owner of a small company reached out to me on Instagram after he saw one of my posts. He asked about making an advertisement for his business. We had a quick meeting, everything looked good, so I agreed. The company is called Photo. The way it works is you can upload or take pictures in their app, and then you can send a printed postcard through the app by using points. There are also options for customizations and texts along the border. The prints then take up to a couple days to be delivered, which is cool as it's typically more nice to reminisce on an event a few days after the fact. I am not affiliated with nor have any stake in this company, but I would recommend checking it out if it sounds interesting to you. So here's the concept for the ad. It's going to be for social media, so it's going to be anywhere from 30 seconds to about a minute long. I have here the actual product, the pictures that you get, and then also I have a cutout version of the frame, and I'm gonna attach this frame to one end of a slider, and then I'm gonna have the camera locked in on the other end of the slider so that they move together. And I'm gonna go to different locations in the city that I've already picked out, and I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pan it to one spot that has a nice frame. I'm gonna hold it still, and as I hold it still, I'm gonna grab a freeze frame from the video, and I'm gonna have them send me a printed out version. And I'm gonna take that print and I'm gonna superimpose it in the video, and I'm gonna do a pan transition into the next shot where it's a different location, a different subject, and I'm gonna repeat that process about 4 or 5 times, and I'm gonna stitch them together using the pan transition so it looks like it's constantly cycling through different landmarks, different places, different subjects. And then from there, I might do a few other closing and ending transitions. The camera I'm going to be using for most of this is going to be my little action camera, which actually fits perfectly within this. So I could have a cool shot of it coming out and then framing it. I'm going to try that. I'm also going to try a few other different techniques, maybe a hyperlapse, maybe a generative fill kind of sweep. If you don't know what that is, I'll show you right here. Hopefully I can add these elements just to make the video a little bit more interesting.
Like an idiot, living in the city yet, giving me a little bit, but she can't choose me or the tough guy with the tattoos in the back room. So I hit him what I want to do. Got a text from my ex, bad news. I'm perplexed by the ones you chose. How you gonna make it when you are so basic? So take it or leave it, I'll spill all your secrets. You better believe it, and that is what's up. Big bucks at the truck, got my truck on front on talk, and I burn down in downtown on the ground floor. Hit the ground floor when the sound blows loud. Do it, don't you would die.
Okay, so I'm going to take you guys through the edit that I did here. The first shot I had was of the bean, and I had it panning in from the left to right, and then I had it snap, and I froze everything in the middle here. And then I actually took a screenshot and then put it into Photoshop, and then I traced it on my drawing tablet, just the outline, and then I also colored it in, and then I had a transition in between both pictures. All right, cool, now we're in the next shot. This is a fountain right next to the bean. Here I just have the background cycling through, so you can see if I hide this layer, it's just different trees and skies. And then she blinks, and then we're back to the next transition. And then here's the original kind of gazebo. And then I also did the same thing where I just took a screen grab, put it in generative fill, and I ran gazebo through it a bunch of times. And so it cycles through everything. Then we pan into the next shot, which is the Ferris wheel from Navy Pier. And then here I just applied a kind of a warp filter on here, if you can see. But it doesn't affect anything on the outside of the frame or the foreground here, the trees and the Ferris wheel. So those stay still, but everything else just kind of warps around, kind of giving it like a water liquid feel to it. And then it's going to transition into the next shot of this monument, and as you can tell, it was getting dark around this time, and so I decided to lean into that. I did a day for night transition edit, And then in DaVinci Resolve, I used the relight feature as a spotlight. I just kind of had it looking around. So you get this cool effect where everything turns dark, you're looking around a bit, and then boom, transition to the next shot. And this one I just keyed out the words out here, and then I added my own words and had it cycling through. I just had it say download photo. And then it just simply transitions so that it can loop with the first clip so that the whole video is an endless loop. And then on top of everything, you can see I have this hand, and I try to color grade and match it to each shot so that it looks like it's holding the clip. This was obviously because at the bottom here, you can't see it in this shot too well, but there's the little metal poles holding up the frame. And so I needed something to cover that. And so I had this hand, and as you can see, it adapts to each environment too. Here, I'll play the full thing for you guys right here. So that's the video. The only problem with it is that I hate it and I don't like it at all. And it doesn't show the purpose of the company, it doesn't show what you can do or what it is. It's just a bunch of random shots with no context. They don't even look that great, if I'm being honest. I spent 3 days editing that and a full day shooting it. It took a lot of time, but I'm just not happy with it. So I'm gonna have to go back to the drawing board and make a completely different ad from scratch. Welcome to the drawing board. This is all pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I really need to explain anything, but I guess I will. I'll show you footage of me actually shooting this ad as I explained. When Photo sent the print to the mail, they also sent me the stock videos that the photos were taken from. And so I thought I would just use those instead of trying to shoot my own footage, as a lot of time had already passed and I wanted to get this done. So I was looking through the videos and I found one that I thought would work well. So I essentially had the idea of doing a stop motion video of the photo going into the envelope and then going into a post office mailbox to be picked up. Luckily, I was able to find a post office box at an abandoned bank near me. Basically took a picture, took a step, took a picture, took a step. So when you play the pictures back together, it would look like a video. And then you can also see I brought tape with me so I could stick it onto the actual mailbox and it can kind of climb its way up to look like it was getting sent. And then after that, my idea was just to have a bunch of cool studio shots to kind of show off how it looks and how you can even stand them up with the little pieces of paper they give you with it too. And so that pretty much sums up the idea I had for this ad. So I shot it all in one night and I edited it, and here are the results. Just a few things to note. The stock video at the beginning of the ad was shot in 25 frames per second, but this video here is shot at 30 frames per second. So it might look a little jittery, but that's only in this video and it should look fine on other devices. Second, I want to do a little breakdown of some of the shots. So in these clips here, I actually used a TV as the backdrop to get interesting bokeh and to get a deeper depth of field. Also, since my camera can't shoot in 25 frames per second, I actually shot in 60 frames per second and I slowed it down to make it look a bit more smooth. I also shot some of the clips as pictures and played it back as a video for the same effect. Finally, I added some sound design and I threw on one of my old beats just to keep the energy up throughout the duration of the video. Even though take 2 of the ad was way different than what I had originally planned, I think it turned out way better. The video itself now has a story and you get a glimpse of how it works. It goes to show that sometimes a simple idea with a motivated story goes way further than a complicated barrage of edits and effects. I guess work smarter, not harder works sometimes. Alright, that's me out. Till next week.